What's going on YouTube? Cloverbells here, back with another Series 11 team fixing video, and this time we've been requested to fix Zamazenta. So, well, if you know me and if you followed me even in Series 10, Zamazenta was one of the best teams I ever built in Series 10. We even made it on Road to Ranked with Cybertron VGC's channel, so if you didn't check out that video, make sure you go on to Cybertron VGC's channel, aka Aaron Zhang's channel, and check out how we did Zamazenta in Series 10. But that was Series 10, this is Series 11, and again, this is a Tier 2 perk on the channel where you, the viewer, can submit a team to me that you've already built, and I will optimize it or make some changes on what I feel is best based on the meta. And today we've been requested for Zamazenta. So again, if you're interested in team fixing, feel free to message me on Discord and of course join the channel. If you're interested in Tier 3, that one is team building, where you and we build a team from scratch. All right, and then we hash out all the EVs, we test it out a little bit, and yeah, then we make a rental code and we feature it in a video. But this is Tier 2. This is again team fixing. So Zamazenta here. So let's take a look here at what the viewer has submitted. So of course it's going to be the Howl tech, right? That's the Clover tech there. So again, Howl is going to boost not only Zamazenta's attack but its partner's attack. So great move there. Protect, close combat, Behemoth Bash, very standard there. I see that there's Thundurus and Landorus here, and I think that's the way to go, honestly. So good on the viewer for noticing that. So there's an AV Lando with a very standard Assault Vest set, and Thundurus with Weather Ball and Lumberry. That's a little interesting. Alright, we'll leave it at that. It's actually not too bad, especially now at this point in the meta where you can set your rain with the Pelipper, apparently. So with the Pelipper setting the rain, the Weather Ball becomes a water type attack, which is pretty good against Sun teams, especially against Groudon. So I do like that. There is a Scarf Urshifu, that's pretty good. That can outspeed Calyrex Shadow. I don't know about Rock Slide though, that one's a interesting one, but I think it's okay. I've seen Stone Edge, but Rock Slide is okay. Porygon is also on this team for Trick Room. So there's Tailwind and then there's Trick Room. And then there's an Ice Beam, a Foul Play move, and then of course a Recover. And it's a modest P2, right? And I can see the EVs there. Okay, the 124 defense, that can live the Zacian close combat, I know that. Even the Urshifu, and then there's Foul Play, that's probably for Calyrex Shadow. So yeah, overall I think it's a good team for Zamazenta, right? If you could just replace the Zamazenta for Zacian, then yeah, then you've got a very, very solid squad, and then you don't need to really change anything. But you know, once again, Zamazenta is one of those tough restricteds to use. You know, we've had to fix some tough restricted teams. You know, you guys are killing me here. All right, but I think we can go a different route here. But as it is, you know, if it stayed like this, I think it's not too bad. I think the Porygon's a little bit out of place on this kind of team, but I do agree with the Thundurus and the Landorus. The Pelipper, I understand the reasoning behind it. You know, there's Tailwind, you can change the weather. It's just not offering enough of offensive pressure here, and we can't really capitalize it with Zamazenta. I know it has the speed control here with that Tailwind, but I think we can get it elsewhere. But that's what I think, and I think we need a little bit more for Kyogre here, because at least put the Assault Vest on the Thundurus, because I don't know if we can do enough with the Thundurus here. But overall, I think we can make some changes. I think a Rillaboom would look good here, and I think we can change up some of the EVs on the Landorus and even the Thundurus if we're gonna keep it like this. So let's just go back now into Showdown and let's adjust the team a little bit on how I think we should be able to play this. Alright, so now we're back on Showdown and we're going to take a look at some of the options that we're going to use instead of some of the ones that are already here. So again, I did say we're going to keep the Thundurus and the Landorus, right? We'll keep these three along with the Zamazenta. I understand the Pelipper, but I think we're going to use something a little bit more helpful here. So that's gone. Urshifu, again, although good, we'll take this out. And the Porygon, I don't think it's the right fit here, and we're going to get rid of that too. So here we are. We're back to this three. This is the core. Zamazenta, Thundurus, and Landorus. Okay, again, great flying options. You know, so in case Zamazenta is going to take a max quake, we can always pivot it out for any of these options. And overall, you know, if there's a rock falling coming into Thundurus or even Landorus, we can always swap it out for Zamazenta, and you know that damage does nothing. So we'll start with this core, and again we'll adjust the EVs and some of the movesets, but let's pick the other three options here. I think Grimmsnarl works well here. You know, I just can't play VGC without this thing, so you know we're gonna go screens here. And if you remember what we did in Series 10 when we used Howl, now Grimmsnarl at +1 is gonna be hitting hard with stuff like Spirit Break here. So +1 Spirit Breaks, you don't want to take those, so I feel like that's going to be really good to have. So let's just go ahead and reveal that GIF right now. There's the Grimmsnarl. Okay, and then from here, I think we could use the Rillaboom, just like I said. So the Rillaboom is going to come here, and this is just going to give us fake out pressure and something to use against Kyogre. So let's just go ahead and reveal that GIF here. So first let's do the Landorus all the way at the end. The Thundurus as well, and again the Rillaboom. Where is it? Right over here. Okay, so we have fake out pressure, we have Grassy Glide pressure, of course. You know, very nice to have, and you don't want to take +1 Grassy Glides from a Rillaboom, so really good here. And I think in the last set here, I'm fine with just straight up Incineroar, to be honest. You know, again, we get a second Intimidator, a second fake out user. We can always pivot our fake outs just so that we can stall Trick Room and Tailwind turns. And again, it gives us something against Zacian, gives us something against both Calyraxes actually. So I really like that a lot. You know, and then if we can put the safety goggles on this, then it gives us a little bit more against Sun teams. You know, just because Venusaur can't sleep Incineroar, and we can hit it hard in the sun with a Flare Blitz, right? And again, Zamazenta with Howl, you know, +1 Incineroar Flare Blitzes. You know, you don't want to take those either. So I think overall, well, this is the 6. But what I want to do is adjust the Thundurus, you know, and I really think Prankster Thundurus is also pretty good here because the viewer had Pelipper, so the viewer was interested in Rain. I can do that. Okay, I can fix that. So now that we got the 6, let's just go ahead and readjust the EVs and the movesets while I just reveal this last GIF here with the Incineroar. Okay, so let's just start with the Zamazenta here. So it looks like we are max speed Zamazenta, so that's kind of interesting. I'd like to know what kind of speed tier the viewer is going for, but I think the only important one that we need based on this kind of speed stat is Cinderace, so I think 189 is enough. And then from here, we're going to drop the HP a little bit to about 175 just so that we re-optimize the HP for Hail Chip. Because if you take out your calculator, what's 175 divided by 16? That is going to be 10.9, which rounds down to 10. Alright, so you're only taking 10 damage of Hail Chip per turn. And now what we can do is invest more in our attack stat like this, but we're just going to go to 196. And I have a certain calc here that I'm going to show here but in the damage calc section, but just trust me on this one for now. We're going to go 20 defense and the rest will be in speed def. Okay, so again, what this does is we outspeed Cinderace, we optimize our HP for hail damage, and the rest goes into mostly our attack and a little bit of bulk. All right, so that's our Zamazenta set. And again, I'll show you what this is calcing for in the damage calc section. Moving on to Grimmsnarl. So again, we're going to go light clay here. And we're going to go with our patented screen set, reflect and light screen. Again, the Grimmsnarl is what makes all these damage calcs work, right? Because the goal is to be bulky, stay bulky, buff up with Howl, and then go for the kill in the end, all right? And Scary Face for speed control. All right, so this is what we want. And we're going to go Careful Nature here. And for our speed stat, I think I just like a little bit of speed on my Grimmsnarl, just 84. So this way, after a +2 or a -2, we can outspeed the base 100s, something like a Charizard. So I think that's worth it in my opinion. So then from here, we're just going to go up to 121. This is our EV bump here. So you see how we're at 119, and then if I move it one more, we're at 121. We skipped the 120. And again, I asked this in every video. Again, if you don't know what EV bumps are, all right, if you don't know what EVs are in general, just feel free to ask me in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to explain what EV bumps are, all right? And then from here, we're just gonna get 4 in our attack stat. That's really all we need from our Grimmsnarl. This magic prime number of 103, and then all the rest in our HP stat. So this is always the Grimmsnarl stat I like to use. Yeah, we'll call it the Clover Grimmsnarl from here. Okay, so the Thundurus, we can go 2 ways. We can keep it offensive, defiant, okay? And then you can go with like a Life Orb or even a Assault Vest, all right, just so that you're a little bit better against Kyogre, and then some dark move like Foul Play or Crunch. I think any of those are okay if you're gonna do it like this. But I like Prankster Thundurus, all right? So then, but the thing is, by doing Prankster Thundurus, then really your only true max option is the Landorus, right? There are some games where you can max the Rillaboom and maybe even the Thundurus, but you know, after Howl boost, you know, you could max some of these mons, okay? So like if you have a +1 Incineroar or a +1 Rillaboom, you can max that. So, you know, it's still okay, the fact that you have Howl Zamazenta. But anyway, I'm gonna go Prankster Thundurus here. We're gonna go Citrus Berry, just for that recovery here. And we're just gonna go Calm Nature. And really all we're doing is, we're just getting a standard Prankster Thundurus set here. We're going to change this to Prankster. So Thunderbolt, Eerie Impulse, just to neuter those special attackers. Rain Dance. So this is the key, because the viewer originally had the Pelipper. So the viewer was interested in changing weather into rain to shut down, you know, sun teams and reduce fire damage against Zamazenta. So we will give the viewer what they want. We will give them Rain Dance, Prankster Thundurus, and then from here, we can go a couple moves. I do like Thunder Wave. Again, another speed control move. I think this is a cool set. So all we're going to really do here is just go full bulk with the HP here. And then just go to our second bump here. Where is it? I believe it's at 156. Yeah, there it is. So you see how you go from 130. And then if I go to the next EV bump, boom, 132. I skip 131. And then just dump the rest into defense. And that's our Prankster Thundurus set. Alright, now for the Landorus. So I don't know what the heck this was calcing for, but I'm just going to change it real quick. So I think all we can do, we have a couple options here. We can go AV Lando or we can go Life Orb Lando. And from this, this is obviously going to be Miracle Seed, you know, with Grassy Surge. This is Intimidate. So, you know, if you like AV Lando, the viewer originally had Assault Vest Landorus. I think that's fine. You know, I kind of like Life Orb on this kind of set, on this team, or you can even keep it with the Assault Vest and go like something with Superpower, but I digress. But anyway, since the viewer had Assault Vest, we'll keep the Assault Vest. It's still a pretty good item. I would much rather see the Life Orb here, but we'll show that in like another paste along with this. But let's just optimize this. So if we're going to go AV, I think we have to go the Adamant 116 route. So let's go Adamant Nature. Let's go 116. Again, this is the second bump here. And we'll go, how much do we want to go? The speed-wise, we'll just drop this for a second. We can go to Adamant 212. So 191 will optimize the hail chip damage. And then from here, we can just dump all the rest in our speed stat. We'll get an even number in the special defense for the Assault Vest. And then just honestly, just, yeah, 132 speed. You know, you're faster than a lot of things after +1s, right? So might as well. So this is our Landorus. Again, much rather see the Life Orb. I can put the Life Orb on this, but you know, U-turn, Earthquake Fly, you know, pivoting your Intimidates is also pretty cool. So I'm fine with the Assault Vest here. Rillaboom, we're just gonna go with the standard Rillaboom here that we like to do. Fake out Grassy Glide. What was the other one? Oh, I do like Protect on my Rillaboom if I'm going Miracle Seed. And then here you can go Wood Hammer. This is also pretty good. It does a lot of damage, but I still like Drum Beating all of a sudden. You know, I used it a lot in Series 10, and I think it slept on in Series 11. You know, more speed control. You got the Grimmsnarl, Scary Face, excuse me, you got the Thunder Wave with the Thundurus. Now you got Drum Beating, so you got quite a few forms of speed control, and then of course you got a couple of Airstreamers here, so might as well take advantage of this. But again, the Rillaboom, Adamant, of course. All right, full on Adamant, just to be the hardest hitting Rillaboom that you want to be, and we're just gonna have enough HP just to optimize grassy terrain recovery. So you see how I have that 192 mark. So what does 192 do? 192 divided by 16, which is the grassy terrain recovery, is a perfect 12. So you are getting 12 HP recovery per turn. If I do something like this, 191, now it's 11.9 something, and you're only getting 11 HP recovery per turn. So that's not optimal. I'm gonna go 192. Boom, there it is. From here, we're just gonna go a little bit in defense. And 115 speed is what I kind of like, just so that you're faster than a lot of other Rillabooms. So, you know, that's a good mark. I know in Series 10 I went for like 117 just to have that faster fake out, but I think in Series 10, 115 is okay. I'm sorry, Series 11. Incin. Okay, so safety goggles here, that's our item. And then Flare Blitz. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Flare Blitz, fake out, parting shot, and we're gonna go Snarl. We can even go Taunt here technically, but you know, oh actually no, we're gonna go the Throat Chop here, just so that you know you can prevent other Incins from pivoting out, and you know we kind of need a dark move for Calyrex Shadow, so Throat Chop is pretty good here. Snarl also works, but you know I like Throat Chop, stop them from going with parting shots. Anyway, careful Incin, always my favorite kind of Incineroar, just so you're at that first bump with the Incineroar. So again, you see how I'm at 130. If I do one more EV investment, boom, 132. So there's my EV bump, and then from here 4 attack is all I need. 68 defense is my targeted defense, just so that when I have this much HP, I can optimize, I can survive the Zacian close combat when I intimidate it. And then from here, I just have all this speed because, you know, I like having a fast Incin just in general. But, you know, that's just me. You know, if you're someone that prefers a bulkier, no speed Incin or very minimal speed Incin, have at it. All right, but for me, I like the faster Incin. Okay, so yeah, I believe that's our squad. So let's, oh, hold on, before I want to do anything, hold on, wait a minute I'm not a fan of protecting that first slot there, so whoever the viewer is, all right, I don't like protecting that first slot. Always got to go stab moves with your first few moves. All right, I know the argument is if you time out, then at least you click the protect button. Well, just don't time out. All right, just don't time out. So let's just take a look here. Let's upload this. All right, so that's this. Okay, now I'm going to show you potentially a Life Orb Landorus and you know, an AV Thundurus set. All right, so now let me show you the other option, which is to go Life Orb Lando. Let's just try again. We're going to go Jolly here. All right, so Jolly's pretty good. Oh, sorry about that. I meant to change the nature. Yeah, I did that. Okay, so Jolly, and then just Earthquake, oh boy, Earthquake, Fly, Rock Slide, and Protect. Okay, that's our Lando set. Now for the EVs, okay, I just need enough where we have enough speed to be faster than Calyrex Shadow after +1. This is all the speed I need. All right, 150, and then from here, let's just make all this 0 for a second. I'm just going to optimize my Life Orb chip, which is going to be any number in the HP stat ending in 9. Right? Because if you know what a Life Orb does, you take 1/10 of your damage per turn. So you want to cheat the system by ending your HP with a number 9. So that's why you go to 169, right? Because 169 divided by 10 is 16.9, and 16.9 will round down to 16, so you only take 16 damage per turn. If I bump this up by 1, now you're at 170, and now you take 17 damage per turn. So you don't want to do that. You want to optimize that by ending with a 9. So there it is, 169, and then from here you can just dump a lot of your EVs left into your attack stat. You know, you can even just max this and then just 4 in the defense, and then the remaining in the Spadef. And this is our Life Orb Landorus build. Okay, so there's that. Now again, the Prankster Thundurus, you can leave it as the Prankster Thundurus. I think you should, but if I had to show an Assault Vest option, just so that you have a secondary Dynamax option rather than only the Landorus, then I would just do something like this, where I would change this to, what is this? I would change this to a Jolly set. Where is this? Where are you? Okay, Jolly. All right, make all of this 0. All right, max speed it, of course. And then from here, what we want is a Wild Charge, Fly. Okay, Superpower. So Max Knuckle is also pretty good with Zamazenta, right? So now another way of boosting the attack damage of everything that you have on your team. And then, you know, we could use a Dark move. I kind of like Crunch. Crunch is pretty good. I know I understand Foul Play, but you know, I just like Crunch because this is what kills Calyrex Shadow. Foul Play does not kill Calyrex Shadow, so that's why I favor Crunch. All right, and then from here, we just want the Assault Vest, right? Yeah, and then how do we want to do the EVs here? So we can just go up to 175, okay, and then have 92 in the attack stat. Okay, so I kind of like this. We could even just drop this by 1, where we're at 174, and then just go 4 and 4. Okay, so I feel like this is okay. You can even do, you know, even a little bit more attack, where you just have something like this. No, sorry, where is it? No, I think that was okay. Yeah, no, this is definitely fine. All right, so this would be my AV Thundurus, right? Okay. Again, I was just trying to optimize for the weather damage, and then just have at least some attack. You know, you want to do some damage with your Thundurus, so I would just do something like this. All right, so let's just upload this paste. So we have some options for the viewer. We got 2 Dynamax options with Thundurus, Landorus, and again, you have the Screens Grimmsnarl set, and then on this version, you have the Prankster set. But you have the AV Lando, which I think arguably could be the Life Orb Lando, just so that you do a little bit more damage. But again, you know, I leave it up to the viewer to decide what they want to do. But I think this is the 6 that you want to go with. But yeah, let's just go ahead and test both of them out in some battles, and let's just recap from there. Okay, before the battles, I meant to show some damage calc. So let's take a look at Zamazenta here. So we're up against a standard Landorus with 252, 252. Again, I would never use this Landorus, but you know, there's people out there that like 252, 252 Landorus, so have at it if this is one of you. And again, if you Dynamax this and you go for the Max Quake, you're gonna live. Oh, let's take away Reflect. Okay, so Reflect, even without Reflect, okay, Zamazenta lives a Max Quake if it's not Life Orb. But what if it did have the Life Orb? Okay, we'll put the Life Orb on this. Okay, yeah, that's actually insane. The fact that Zamazenta can pretty much almost 100% of the time live a Life Orb Max Quake, no Intimidate, no Reflect. Okay, I kind of like that a lot. Okay, because that means I can stay in and I can click Howl or click Behemoth Bash or whatever, and then just KO the Landorus or KO something else, or buff my Mon and then that Mon KO something else. So that's kind of cool. And I'm not sure if this is going to matter, but what I also decided to try and look at was Charizard, believe it or not. So let's look at Zard here. So Charizard, let's just go max 252, 252, right? We want to assume the hardest hitting Charizard here. So turns out that Zard, with a light screen up. Oh, hold up. Zard, where are you? Timid, Solar Power, Life Orb. Okay, in the sun. Okay, but then with light screen up, the fact that with light screen up, Zamazenta lives a heat wave from Charizard, Life Orb, in the sun is kind of cool, because the fact that I live means I could potentially kill the Zard with based on its chip that it has left, or I can survive, click Howl, and then, you know, buff my Mon, and then my Mon, my partner Pokemon, will kill something else. Okay, so the fact that Zamazenta can live a heat wave from a Charizard in the sun with Life Orb is amazing. All right, I just want to say that. Now, is that gonna come in handy? It might, because there's a lot of sun teams out there with Charizard, right? So you know, I think that was kind of cool to note. Groudon is no big threat. Citrus Groudons, you know, they're just going like first bump here. So P-Blades, you know, again, you're fine. If he goes for the Swords Dance, that's not even going to kill you 100% of the time. You know, and if you have Reflect up, you're just chilling, honestly. So, you know, don't be scared of Groudon, so to speak. But yeah, I just wanted to show that damage calc, just in case there was any concern here. All right, so now we can take a look at some of the sample battles. All right, so this is a weird Groudon set. So he's got the Bisharp with the Thundurus. All right, so that can either be Prankster Thundurus or Divine Thundurus. Doesn't matter. I'm still leading the Landorus. I mean, there's very little that this team can do against Landorus. We have Airstreams for the Ludicolo. We have Quake for the Darmanitan and the Bisharp. And then we have Rockfall for the opposing Thundurus and the Crobat. The only thing that we can't hit anything super effective is the Groudon. And honestly, Zamazenta and Rillaboom should be able to clean that up. So no fear here. Okay, so here we go. We go with Zamazenta, and I'll go with the Landorus here. And there's the Bisharp, and there's the Crobat. Okay, so right away you think, oh, why did you lead the Landorus? All right, because now the Bisharp is +1. I'm not scared of a +1 Bisharp. Bisharp is not good. It's not going to do any damage, and I'll prove it to you. So I'm going to max the Landorus, and he's going to max the Bisharp. He's only +1, remember that. There's the Tailwind. We knew that was coming. Here's the Howl Tech. All right, max Steel Spike. All right, Quake, even with the defense boost, even with Bisharp's defense boost, all right, Landorus still kills it with max Quake. Don't use Bisharp, guys. Don't do it. All right, now he brings in the Darmanitan. Okay, so he swaps out for Groudon. So now he has the Sun out, which is a good play. And again, there's really nothing stopping this Landorus here. All right, he goes for the Zamazenta instead, KOs it. So that potentially could be banded. But again, I just Airstream, get rid of the Darm. All right, now I am +1 in a lot of things. And now the Groudon is stuck here. Okay, there's the Crobat again. And he protects the Groudon. I'm not even going for the Groudon. I have a Rillaboom in the back. I go for the Thunder Wave just to paralyze the Crobat so my Landorus can go first. All right, and now it's just a Groudon that's gonna 1v the rest of what I have, and then he can't beat it. So that was an interesting match. Let's take a look at another one. All right, this is an actual Sun team, but again, he's got some weird options here. There is a Rillaboom and an Araquanid. Why he has those two, I couldn't tell you. But again, you know, Landorus looks like a pretty safe option against a lot of this. Like I don't even know how he stops Landorus. This team just hard loses to Landorus. I gotta be honest. Okay, so here we go. Grim and Lando. All right, what does he lead? Groudon and Zard. That does nothing. I'm sorry, because first of all, your Groudon's intimidated, and your Zard just dies to one rock move. So, you know, and my Grimmsnarl is just going to chill here and set up screens, and then Landorus is just going to sit behind those screens and finish the game. All right, so again, we're just going to max the Lando. The Zard protects, which is fine, I guess. I'm just going to go ahead and light screen. I thought he would switch out the Groudon there, because the Groudon's already intimidated, and I was prepared against the Zard, so that's why I set up the light screen. But he protected the Zard instead, and he clicked Swords Dance on his Groudon to counter my Intimidate. So that's fine. The problem now is you still can't hit my Landorus for a super effective move. So the +1, the +1 from the Swords Dance, while not bad, it's not solving the problem yet. Okay. So he switches out the Zard. There's the Rillaboom. I could have just Airstreamed that slot. So I Airstreamed this slot, okay, the Groudon, just to chip it so that way Rillaboom can finish the game in the back. And I just wanted to chip the Zard. All right, but he switched out for Rillaboom. And he clicked Swords Dance again. I don't know what's wrong with this guy. Okay. But again, the Landorus is just applying so much pressure. He maxes the Groudon finally. There's the fake out on my Grimmsnarl. I was going to set up Reflect, but I just, again, chipped the Groudon a little bit more just so that Rillaboom can finish the game. And he Rock Falls my Lando, so that doesn't kill. See what I mean? And again, now that my Lando goes back to normal, I can just pretty much set up the Reflect. He Grassy Glides, and my Lando lives, and I U-turn, I get the heck out, I chip the Rillaboom. There's my Zamazenta, And I'll show you why I did that, because there's the Rockfall. That was going to go into the Landorus. And now my Zamazenta just takes minimal chip damage. And now he's in a big trouble, because now Zamazenta and Grimmsnarl on the field means a couple things here. Alright, so we're going to swap in Landorus. I anticipate a Max Quake yet again. I just want to get rid of the Rillaboom. And he did fall for it. He went for the Max Quake. So this is what I mean by pivoting your Landorus and your Zamazenta. You can bait out Max Quakes, bait out Max Rockfalls. And now this Groudon, although it's +2, it did no damage. Did no damage. And there's the Charizard again. Scary Face Zard just to try and get a Rockfall up, but I clicked Fly instead. I honestly thought he would try and kill it. And there's the Heat Wave. So, alright, he kills my Grimmsnarl. Alright, probably should have clicked Rockfall there, but it's still okay. Alright, so here's Zamazenta. I can Howl yet again. The Zard protects. Alright, and I didn't know this interaction. I thought Howl would still buff my Landorus in the air. I didn't know that interaction. I wanted to try it, but now I know it didn't work. But it was safe to try, because, you know, I was still fairly confident with what I had in the back. Okay, so there's the Fly. We deal some damage to the Groudon, but there's high horsepower. Zamazenta lives. Okay. And then from here, I just go into my Thundurus here. He goes into Alecki, and I did that because I can EQ next to my Thundurus, and then just, I don't know why he swapped into Alecki there. And he went into high horsepower. That's also why, again, I swapped out my Zamazenta into a flying type. I'm surprised he doesn't have Precipice Blades, and he went for high horsepower. I guess he really doesn't want to miss. Okay, and there's the Zard yet again. There's the Wild Charge. So I just realized I didn't bring the Rillaboom in this game. I thought I did. But again, Rock Slide here just to chip the Groudon one more time. I know he Rock Slides and kills me, but again, I have Zamazenta in the back to finish the game. Alright, so here it is, and there's really nothing he can do because I'm faster. He protects, I don't know why. It doesn't do anything except stall the game, because there it is. There's the close combat. Alright, and he was Leftovers Groudon, so that was also a weird item to have. I guess that's why he clicked Protect. But there was no living close combat there. So that was an interesting game against the Sun team. Let's look at one more. Okay, this one is against another weird team. This is a Kyogre team with Primarina and Togekiss. Why there's a Togekiss and a Primarina here, I don't know. There's you have 3 electric weaknesses and 2 weaknesses to Rillaboom. And there's a Dracovic, which I understand. You know, Fish's Wren in the rain is very fearful. And there's a Rillaboom. I understand that. So Landorus, interesting choice on a rain team, but we're just gonna play it relatively okay here. He's just gonna go Togekiss Rillaboom. I'm gonna go Grimmsnarl Rillaboom just in case he led the Kyogre here. So I'm curious to know who had the faster Fake Out. So I went for Fake Out on the Rillaboom. And I thought the Togekiss would just be aggressive and, you know, click a fairy move into my Grimmsnarl here. But he actually has the faster Fake Out, which is also interesting. Alright, so, and the Togekiss just chips my Rillaboom. I guess that made sense because that's what's threatening the Kyogre, right? But I'm still okay. So I'm just going to swap out the Rillaboom and go into Zamazenta. You know, I just need to save the Rillaboom for the Kyogre here. Alright, and there's my light screen. This is going to help me against Kyogre later on. He taunts my Grimmsnarl. I guess that's fine, I guess. Now, Zamazenta can put pressure on the Togekiss. There's a Protect. That's a little bit weird move to have on the Togekiss. But, you know, Protect is Protect. And he clicks Knockoff on my Grimmsnarl for some reason. Alright, but anyway, next turn here. So, he goes into Primarina. Alright, that's not going to help him there. And he Grassy Glides, and I swapped into Rillaboom hoping that I could live it, and I did. And I just bashed the Primarina. Does pretty good damage. Okay. And then I just tried to fake out the Rillaboom and just get rid of the Primarina. I don't think it had Protect, and it didn't. So, great job Primarina there. Alright, and there's the Togekiss yet again. So here we are. But again, you know, he swaps out into Kyogre. That's kind of cool. I go into Grimmsnarl here, and he maxes the Togekiss. I clicked Howl. I thought I should have attacked the Togekiss, but I didn't think he would max this thing. But he maxed it. Alright, and he airstreamed into my Grimmsnarl. I Scary Faced the Kyogre just to deal some chip damage. You know, it's just so that the water spout damage is reduced. But maybe I should have went for the Togekiss here. But, you know, he goes to the airstream to my Zamazenta. He gets the crit. And the Kyogre clicks Water Spout. He also gets a crit again. So there goes Zamazenta. And now I just have a Prankster Thundurus here against Kyogre and Togekiss, which is actually not too bad. Okay, so I have to max the Thundurus. That's all I really have left to max. I'm just going to Scary Face the Togekiss, and he Ice Beams my Thundurus. We're a Calm set, remember? There's the Max Lightning. We chip the Togekiss, and he Airstreams my Thundurus for some reason. I don't know why he did that, instead of clicking a Fairy move. But he goes into Rillaboom there. Guessing I don't have Max Airstream, but again, my goal is to remove the Kyogre here, and we do. So good on the Scary Face there from the Grimmsnarl. Again, there's Togekiss. I'm just going to go into Rillaboom just to take a Fake Out or a Grassy Glide, and there it is. And again, I removed the Togekiss here, so now it's just a 3-on-1 against Rillaboom, and my max is gone. So I have to just play smart here and, you know, just click Fake Out and swap in my Grimmsnarl here, you know, so that I can set up the Reflect the following turn. So this way my Thundurus can finish the game if I need to. Alright, so there's my Thundurus. I get the Reflect up. He Grassy Glides. Grimmsnarl actually lives. So we have the best EVs on the planet. And there's the Thunder Wave. There's more speed control. So now the Grimmsnarl can actually go first over the Rillaboom. Alright, now we can just chip everything. There's the Thunderbolt. That's good damage. And there's the Spirit Break. And there it is. And down goes Kyogre. So we only lost Zamazenta, and everything else just won the game. So I messed up a little bit, but you know, in the end, you know, we have the good supporting cast here, and this is why I like Prankster Thundurus on a team like this, because you know, it gives you options that normally wouldn't be there if you didn't have it. All right, so now let's just go look at the pace one more time and wrap it up here. Okay, so there it is, right? So there's our Zamazenta squad. Now, again, we had the Assault Vest on it. I tested a little bit more, and, you know, I just like the Life Orb Lando on this thing. I think you just need all that damage. And the Prankster Thundurus to support it is actually really, really good. Along with the Grimmsnarl here to stay bulky behind screens. I think this is the better paced, but this one over here with the Assault Vest Thundurus, instead of the Prankster Thundurus, is also more than viable. So it really all depends on what the viewer wants. If you like the Prankster Thundurus, if you like the AV Thundurus where you have a little bit more offense, I think you should give both a try and see which one you like. But yeah, let me know if you think we improved the team, or if you have some suggestions of your own. But until next time, again, this is a team fixing tier 2 perk on the channel. So if you're interested in team fixing, feel free to send me a message and click join on the channel. You know, I'd love to help people fix their squads, and hopefully they can do well with them. But yeah, I've got no complaints so far. So I guess that's a plus. So we'll be back next time with another Series 11 video. Have a good one.